Hello YouTube, Todd with all things archery and shooting. I come across a unique item eBay the other day. I thought I'd make a good video to do, so let's check it out. Just came in, let's see what we got. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Isn't she a beauty? Oh yeah. Okay, isn't she a beauty? Alright, well, what we have here is a 1984 vintage Bear Whitetail Hunter. They came through about 2 models. They came with the brown limbs and the one with the camouflage limbs. According to the number on this one was made in 1984. Has a peak draw weight of 65 pounds and a 30-inch draw. Okay. Well, my draw is 29 inches, and that's actually what it's set at because it's set in the middle, so that's 29 inches. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do with this is we're going to clean this up a little bit. We're going to put it together. I'm going to get some acetone and wipe it down really good. We are going to build us a hunting bow out of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this all organized, set up. We got a brand new string on it, okay? We already got a period correct eyepiece in there, a peep sight, and the little old Bear puffs on there, so that's all correct. The owner said this was a new string. It does need some waxing. I can see it here. So most of the work's done for us. So we're going to set up a set the limb up and get it set up to shoot and take it out and see what it does velocity-wise. And then we're going to take it out on a deer hunt or a hog hunt. Probably a hog hunt because deer season is over now. We'll take it on a hog hunt and we'll see how it performs. The bow itself is in fairly decent shape. It's got a few minor scratches and dings as this is normal from over time. Nothing seems broke on it though. Okay. It came with an accessory package. Let's see what's in this accessory package. Anything we can use. Oh, I feel a sight. Yep, look at there. Original Bear sight for it. And the quick connect for the Bear arrow quiver. Does not have the arrow quiver with it, but it does have the original Bear sight with it. This is kind of nice. So we're going to put all this back together, clean it up, and see what it looks like. All right, give me a minute, I'm going to get it cleaned up, and then we'll come back and we'll start assembling this bow. Got some acetone here. I'm going to clean this bow a little bit with it. Okay, don't need a lot. I do want to get all the gunk and correct everything cleaned off of it. Okay, especially what I'm going to be doing. It cleans it really good. That's where the original Bear weather rest was at. I've got a replacement for that, so we'll get it cleaned up. Might need some goo gone on that. It's kind of still sticky, but otherwise, just clean it up pretty well. Gonna oil all these cams and everything. Okay. Alright, that's all cleaned up now. We go to get some acetone. I mean, not acetone, but some goo gone. Take care of that little residue that's still left on there, which isn't much. Bear with me. Okay, got some goo gone here. This stuff works really good. Spray a little bit on there. Okay, let that soak in really good. That'll take all that glue residue that's on there and get it off completely. Okay. There we go. Alright, clean up some acetone. There we go, nice and clean. Okay, cool. Now you can see it's got a little line right here. That's where you want to set your rest at. So we'll go ahead and put that on first. Let me go over this. Let's go over the components I'm going to use for this build. Okay. All these items are period correct for this bow. That means they were all made and manufactured when this bow was first built. So we're going to see what we got here. Okay. All right. Okay, we got a sling for it we're going to use. This is an old Bear Light for your sight pins. I got a new set of Bear original sight pins from the period area, correct? This is how they used to do it before they come up with the release loops we have now. They had put these on your string for your release. So we're going to put this on our string. We also have standard Bear weather rest is going to go on here as well too. Okay. Then you have the original sights, which are right here, and also the original, which these are hard to find, period correct, quick connect with a Bear arrow quiver. All right. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and put this Bear rest on and check the square on it, make sure it's squared. I know it's already preset up, it's got all the notch and everything preset up on it, so I'm going to check this to make sure, and we'll see how it works. Okay, got my square here, my bow square. All right. I said the person I bought this from, he said the bow shoots fine. He said it has been laying around his closet for many, many years. Hold on a second. Beer break. That's good. Okay. He said it was cleaning his closet out, came across it. And I said, I got to think, would I pay for this thing on eBay? $25. I paid $25 for this bow, plus shipping on eBay. I think it was less than 45 bucks. I think shipping was like $18. So less than $45 I got this bow. And I had this bow way back when. I mean, originally when I started bow hunting, the compound bow, this was the first one I had back in the early 80s. This is the bow I had and I used. I think everybody had one of these. This is actually going from a recurve to a compound. A lot of people still shot these instinctive traditional style with no sights, no nothing, and shot fingers on it. But that was the early 79, like 81, 82 time frame. Around 83 they started getting a little more sophisticated with the different types of rests and the releases and stuff. So I think this bow was a reduction to about 87 or 88 when they dropped it from the line. But they made a bunch of them though. Okay, so let's get started, get this thing done. Okay, first thing is if you see right here, let me get my little pointer for you. If you look right here, right here's a line that's cast into the riser. That's where your rest has got to sit on, like that, right on that line there. It can't sit. You don't want it to sit lower than that because that'll throw your shot of your bow off. So I just sit on that line there. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that first. Get that set up. Okay. Again, this is the original Bear weather rest. This is the kind of rest they would have had back in when they had this bow back in 1984. Okay. All right. Add this to it. Line the hole up. They call this the Bear weather rest. Okay. Really sticky stuff. Line that hole up perfect. Yeah, 1984 is the last year of this style of bow. And then they came out with, in 85, they came out with the same bow, a little bit updated to it, except that bow it was cut for a center shot rest, had a hole drilled through it, it was tapped, so you can put like a plunger through it, which is one of these here. So you're going to put through it, one of these types. It went through the back side of it. That was in 1985, the first year they did that. So I said this bow kind of evolved over the 7, 8, 9 years it was in production. So Like this camouflage is the first color it came out with in 1983 too as well. Okay, all right, that's on there, nice and tight. Now with these bows here, you don't have any way to adjust the center shot on them. So the only thing you can do with these is you have to check your spine on your arrows. We'll do that when we get to it. Okay, that's done. All right, now let's check our square on it. It should be about 1/8 of an inch above. Let's see what that is. Okay. Ooh, they got it really low. Let's do something here first, okay? First, let's go ahead and take care of this here. I think the way this goes, it's across this here. I would think this one on the bottom would go on the bottom, just the top limb. So the one that crosses the top will go on the top one here, okay? Okay, that goes there. Is that right? No, that's not right. It's been a while since I put one of these together. I think it goes like, there we go. This is it, off that pulley to here. This is the way it goes. Alright, there. Then off the pulley here. Okay, that's better. That's the way it goes, like that. Then you have your cross right in the middle here. Okay, good. I think that's the right way. Let me check it out. Oh yeah, that's it. Perfect. Okay. Alright, now we got that strung correctly, or cabled correctly. Those cables are adjustable too. It's at the highest say now at 65 pounds. Anyway, those cables are adjustable too. These cables here, they're fully adjustable here. It's set to the highest setting right now, 65 pounds. But you can actually make it lower, lighter, or whatever you need, okay? So, alright. Now let's check our bow square and see if it's squared up. Might need to move those nocks a little bit. It should be running 1/8 of an inch above. Now this was set for shooting off the rest. They must, because right now those nocks are in the wrong spots. We're going to move those nocks. Alright, let's do that right now. Get those nocks moved out of the way because they're in the wrong spot. Alright, let's take this one off. I hate doing this. If you're not careful, you can ruin the string. Serving. Okay. There we go. Got it. Okay. Alright, set that to an 1/8 inch. On these old bows I always put 2 nocks, one on top of the other, once I get it set to where it needs to be at. So we'll set this first knock at 1/8 of an inch, which is right here. Oh, beer break. Okay, I use these pliers for that. These Sandra pliers work better for that. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp it in. 1/8 of an inch, right there. Okay. Alright, I got that first knock set where it needs to be at now, 1/8 inch high where it's supposed to be at. Now let's set the next knock. Let's take this one off here. Move this one in a little bit. This will be what we use for our release. Okay, let me set that up with a knock, see where it falls in at. We'll set this up with an arrow knock, which is right here. I put a knock in there, and I've slid it not quite all the way up to leave a little bit of gap there so it spins around easily, and tighten it up right there. That's where your arrow is going to sit. Okay, nice and tight. Okay, now that's done. Now there's a last knock. we'll set it up for the release. So I got my release here that we're going to use. This is period correct, this release. It's a period correct release. That snaps onto the string like that. And it's a period correct release, and we're going to type it in right there, okay? Now, this is the way they did it back in the day. Now we've got these here. You can put on, just usually go underneath your where your release goes at. But since this has 2 nocks on it, we're just doing it like the old school way. This is how they did it back in the day. 2 nocks. Again, I'm going to try to keep this as period correct as I possibly can, because I do want to get it built and I want to go hunt with it and try to kill a hog with it, or which at my lease. Okay. All right, that's that. Okay, just double check everything. 1/8 of an inch. We're good. Knock fits okay, and the release fits okay. Perfect. Okay, good. All right, so the string's set up. Okay. Now, next thing I need to do is go ahead and put our sights on. Remember, we're keeping this period correct, so I want to use all the same tools and equipment that came with it, including the original screws. These are kind of a little corroded a little bit. You can see the little calcification on the screw there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some oil in each of those holes. This is a magnesium riser, and those things weren't known. They were known to corrode and get calcified, and sometimes you can't get your screws out of them. This isn't quite that bad, but it's pretty close. Best way to fix that is just drop a little bit of oil in there on each hole, and that'll fix the problem. Okay, and put one right there too. Now this hole here, I had to figure out where that 3rd hole was, but I did some research and I found out what this 3rd hole is for. Let me show you what it's for. Again, I couldn't figure out what that hole was for until I come across this. This is an original Bear recurve rest. This is a 1979 vintage, and they put that hole there so that you could attach this type of quiver onto it. Old school quiver. Goes just like that. This was the original quiver. They made this so you use your recurve. So if you go stripping a recurve bow to a compound, you can use some of your own equipment, and it's also cut out for the cables and everything. That's what this was designed for. So that is what that hole is for. If anyone wants to know or curious about it, that's what it's for. Alright, I thought that was pretty interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and get this assembled now. Okay, I'm going to take all these off here because these are bent and they're damaged. So I got a brand new set of screws, or a sight pin I'm going to put in. These are rusty too as anything. So we're going to replace these with a new set of sight pins. So we'll take these off. So, question for y'all while I'm doing this. How many of you out there started hunting with the Bear Whitetail bow like this one when you first started bow hunting back in the early days? Or did you ever have one of these bows? If you'd like to know, put down in the comments, let me know. Let me know if anyone's still hunting with this bow, by the way. That'd be really cool. I'll go ahead and post it in a follow-up video when we do our velocity and testing on this thing. So, yeah, this could be a 2-part series. First part's going to be the build series. Second part's going to be actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be a 3-part. This is going to be a 3-part series. First part's going to be the build series we're doing now. The second part is going to be the actual sighting in and shooting phase where we check velocity and get the bow sighted in and everything. The 3rd phase where we're going to take it on a hog hunt at my lease, and we're going to try to kill us a hog with it. So, it'll be a 3-part series, so be sure to stay tuned for it, okay? All these are no good now, so I'm going to get rid of these. Completely useless. Throw them away. Okay? I'll tell you one thing, folks. I'm going to have to build me a new bench. This one's not very big. It's only 4 foot wide. I probably need about a 6 foot wide at least bench. So I have more room to work, because this is also doubles as my reloading bench. You can see the reloading gear here. But you do what you got to do. Alright. Now, let's get this set on here. I'm going to put this sight back on here. Okay. Let's line this up. Alright. Here we go. Tighten these up now. Okay, this is done. Let's get this one in there. And so you be real careful with these magnesium risers, because you don't want to strip these, because they're really easy to strip. I stripped quite a few back in the day. Alright, do it this way then. There we go, got it now. And be real careful, because you will strip these magnesium right. Once you strip them out, you're done. You really can't do much with them. Ask me how I know, because remember I told you to shoot this bow back in the day? The whole reason I stopped shooting this bow back in the late 80s was because I was changing the sight out for a newer design sight, a new technology sight they had. And I put it on wrong and I stripped out this riser. After that, it was no good. I took it in, and even the machinist said it, because it's magnesium, they couldn't tap it for anything bigger because it wouldn't hold. So, you gotta be real careful with that, okay? Again, the screw is a little bit rusty, so we'll go ahead and put a little drop of oil on top of those just to knock that rust out. There we go. Take our rag, soak it up a little bit. See there, clean it right up, okay? Alrighty, now we got that on. Let's go and put our sights in. Remember, these are original Fred Bear sights from back in the 80s. They even say Bear on them. So, had these in my box for a place sight, because these older sights like this, they always bent. Always bent. So I always kept a spare set in my tackle box, or my bow tackle box. Because these things, I mean, when I say they always bent. Now, let's go ahead and get this set up and signed up. Okay. Alright, we'll go here. Now what you want to do with these, this is the tricky part, because this is not really a true center rest bow. Okay? So what you want to do, you get the first one in, the first pin in, you want to look down the string, straight down the string, okay, and see if it lines up with that sight. Okay, again, we'll look down the string and see if it lines up with that sight. So I'm going to look down the string, and like I'm shooting the bow, and I need to come in a little bit, so we'll turn that in. Okay, let's see what we got here. A little bit more. Okay, that's pretty close there. Okay, you see that? That's pretty close there. You know, let me see that. Look down that string or not. Let me see. Can you see it? Probably can't, but if you look down this string, you should be able to line up that string with the edge of that peak, or the edge of that thing. So it's pretty close. It's not perfect. We'll get it sighted in range and make it good. Next, you put your lock washer and your lock ring on, which locks it into place. You don't want to forget those. Now it's just a matter of putting the rest of them in, spacing them apart. Get it in there. Okay, I'm not sure how accurate this is going to be. We're going to have to shoot it to find out. But at least this way we get started. I'm going off the old ones that were in here, the old sight pictures that were in here. So at least that way we can go ahead and get us on the paper, you know what I mean? Okay. Tighten this up a little bit more. Just kind of loose. Okay. Okay. That's done. Alright. Now, next thing we're going to do, this is the last thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut that off. That's the old got that done. Yeah, they completely glued that on there. And they didn't serve this side end, they put a knock above it, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. We'll check that out though and get it over there. So the way I do this is always wet the end of my pipe here. Just wet the end of it. And then you should be able to slide it on. I might have to fight this one because it's got a lot of junk on it. Okay, that's on there. And you want a little bit of you don't want too much slack because it'll get in the way of your wheels there. So you want to try to get a little bit less slack. You don't want to get caught up in your wheels or your cables. So we'll cut it off right there. Okay. Try to get it on here now. There we go. Alright, that's on there. Let's see how that pulls. Get my release out. Check it. What I'm going to do now is take my release. I'm going to check my sight. I just got through serving the sight in where I need to be at and make sure it fits. So let's take a look and see how it works. Let's see, lock it in there, pull it back. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Alright, good. Okay, now we have the peep sight in the right spot. Alright, last thing I've done is I put this bow felt cover on here, which is right here, which is your bow sight window. It keeps the arrow from banging against it. So if you got an arrow, like your aluminum arrows, so if you draw your bow, you don't hear nothing. See, it's quieter. See, difference? Yeah, so it's quieter with that though. Okay, so that's done. Also, I went ahead and oiled all of the components. Make sure they're all good and greased well. And I went ahead and installed a Bear sight light. This Bear sight light is pretty cool. Just turn it on. It actually shines a light onto your pins for you for low light shooting. Okay. Also checked all of the puffs to make sure they're all good to go. They're old, but they'll serve a purpose. And that's pretty much it. It's done now. I mean, we got our rubber on, got our Bear rest in, wither rest. We got the sight window cover with some felt. Got all of our new pins in. We got our sight on. We got our arrow quiver quick connect installed. Bow's been adjusted correctly to my draw length of 29 inches, and it comes in at 65 pounds. I checked this on my bow scale, and my bow scale comes out to right at 63, about 62 and a half pounds. Just say 63, okay? So it's not quite 65, but it comes out to 63. Because these bows used to be test on ATA, which was a 30-inch draw for a 540 grain arrow, and that's how you got your velocity rating. So all these bows were set at 30 inches for their weight. So this is a 30-inch bow at 65 pounds. At my draw length of 29 inches, you're going to lose 1 or 2 pounds, and this one lost about 2 pounds. So it's right about 63 pounds at my draw length. Okay? What do we have left to do now? Let's see here. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm trying to think I'm missing anything. I don't think so. No, I'm not. Okay, done, done, and done. Okay, I am not missing anything. Okay, good. All right. Alrighty, now this is completes the build part of this Bear Whitetail Hunter bow. This is a 1984 vintage. I tried to keep everything period correct the best I could, and I think I did a pretty good job at it. So the next step is to get it out to the range, get it sighted in, and get it ready for hunting. So stay tuned for part 2. That's coming up. So, and after part 2, we're going to take this out on a hog hunt and hunt hogs with it. So that should be quite interesting. Alrighty, this has been Todd, all things archery and shooting. I want to thank you for watching. And again, stay tuned for parts 2 and parts 3. Alright? Until next time, ciao.